Hello, everybody. How are we doing? How we doing on this lovely Monday morning? Whoops. I feel like these microphones are just pieces of shit, right? I feel like they don't, these things, are flimsy as hell. I can't wait to light them on fire. Nah, they're great. They're great. Look, they're gold. They look nice. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well on this Monday morning. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's episode. Who did I have on? I forget. Oh, I'm an idiot. Paul and Al. Paul and Al from 94 HJY. I want to thank them, first of all, for coming on. I'm going to turn my mic up just a smidgen. There we go. Thank them for coming on. They're essentially helping out a new kid. They're helping out a new guy, and I definitely appreciate them for it. Super nice guys, too. It was just cool to meet them. Funny thing, when I got them on, I didn't even know what the fuck they look like. I had to ask my brother because he keeps up on that stuff more. I'm pretty sure he follows them on Instagram or something. And I had no clue what the fuck they looked like, so I actually even had to Google it. But yeah, that was awesome. Big thanks to them for coming on. Something big happened recently for a lot of people. This whole month, actually, has been graduation month. Yahoo! Now it's time for the rest of our lives. Yay! No more school, no more tests. You wish. It's funny, a lot of the people that I've spoken to, older people, they all say they're I graduated college and I thought I'd be done with tests, and all I've been doing is taking tests, right? I had a professor who's actually the episode will be on this week, and he was telling me, or we were talking about how he was taking his CFA exams, and I think he finished them now. But we were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, you're a professor, you're a doctorate in you're a doctor in finance, and you're still taking tests. It doesn't stop. And I remember being an advisor for 6 minutes or so. And a lot of the people there were like, dude, all we do is take tests because you got to get license for this and license for that. So the tests and the learning don't stop. I feel like it's very unfortunate that some people look at school and because of the experience they had, they were like, oh, finally, done. No more learning. You're an idiot. You're just going to stop learning? You're just going to stop learning now. All right, no more learning. Now I can just go to my job, and I know everything I need to know about my job. I'll never have to read. I'll never have to take any kind of assessment. I'll never have to do anything like that. College is done. Yahoo! I get my 6-figure contract, right? Get my job that I want, my salary. Don't have to struggle anymore, right? Get my, you know what I'm saying? Get my life started. Get that 50 grand salary, that 60 grand salary, baby. That's what we all chasing, right? That's what we in college for, right? We come out, we're going to get that job we want. That job, that J-O-B, that salary. Sorry to tell you people, but it don't happen like that. Unless the degree is, maybe you have a higher degree, right? You just got your master's. You have that much higher of a chance of getting a high-end job. You also have that much higher of a chance of being in debt for your whole fucking life. But that's beside the point. I don't want to talk about the debt because some people, they're fortunate enough. I was fortunate enough to graduate without any debt. And it wasn't because I was smart. It's because I have a very, very loving grandmother. And I went to a cheap-ass school. I went to Rhode Island College, cheap as fuck. So if I wanted to, I could have paid for it, but I didn't want to. If it was up to me to pay for it, I probably wouldn't have gone, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think what happens is students graduate. Happened to me. You get kind of a rude awakening. I posted a video on Instagram and people hit me up. Why you negative? Buh, buh, buh. First of all, it was a joke, right? I say jokes sometimes. Jokes aren't always positive, right? I'm just trying to be a goofball. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be an idiot, trying to make people laugh, right? So when I say that when you graduate, you're going to have debt and all you'll have are the books to sit on, right? I'm kidding, but I'm also kind of true, right? I'm also kind of telling the truth. I still have all my books. Nobody bought those fucking things from me. You know what I'm saying? All my books are still there. I keep them, right? Sometimes you might need to chat, you know what I'm saying? Go right through it. You know, I still have a psychology book that I don't care about. You feel me? I don't care about psychology. What the hell? What is psychology? What the fuck is that? That's like a cop out major. That's like a major people pick when they don't really know what they want to do. You know, oh, I was thinking I was gonna do this, but that was hard, so I switched to psychology. I like the mind. I like how the mind works. I like to get into people's heads. That's what y'all sound like when you pick psychology as a major. But this is me sitting here with a clown. I should have a clown hat on because I'm a finance major. You know what I'm saying? I had you know, I picked something that I thought was interesting and that I wanted to learn about, and I didn't get a job in the field. So I'm just here speaking from experience, and I'm not bitter about it at all. I'm not at all. Like, it's, you know, it is what it is. I'm here doing this now. If all that other stuff didn't happen, I wouldn't be here doing this. If I went and found some cool finance job, maybe, and it could still happen. What if I find a cool finance job that I think is, you know, that I want to do and whatever else? It checks all my boxes, right? I'm not miserable. The work is quote unquote meaningful to me, right? It's challenging. It's on subject matter that I care about. And, you know, above all, the pay as well. You know, the pay is good. So if I check all those boxes, who knows? This podcast goes out the fucking window. I don't see that happening because I'm a very particular person. I remember when I was trying to get a job as a kid, I would quit, start a new job, quit, start a new job. Kind of can't do that in real life. You know what I'm saying? You can't go from hedge fund to hedge fund, right? Quitting. Wow, this sucked. This was bad. Let me go to this other investment firm and they'll hire me. Like, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's not how that shit works. You got to kind of pick something and whatever. You either stay or you leave. You can't be in limbo here. So for me, I've chosen to leave for right now. And I want to tell you guys to stay optimistic. You college grads, you new grads, right? Stay optimistic. Do your thing. But know that your degree is not the end-all, be-all. If whatever you got your degree in doesn't resonate with what you want to do in your life, or you get involved in the professional field and you think, you know, you don't want it, or you find some other route in your life that has nothing to do with your degree, that's cool. Like, there's no fucking problem with that. I'm just here to kind of bring everyone back down to reality because everybody's up high. Everyone just graduated. Yeah, woohoo, party. Time for life to begin. Time to pay bills. Time to be stressed than a motherfucker, right? Time to wonder why you're doing this job that you do every fucking day, right? Time to have that existentialism. Why the fuck am I doing this every goddamn day, right? Why are we even doing this? It's funny because that shit, I used to think that a lot of that stuff was nonsense. Like a lot of this inner thinking and deep thinking about the earth and why we're here and all this stuff. I always had like an appreciation for it, but I was never like, you know, one to sit there and ponder, why am I here? What am I doing? Because when you're a kid, you almost have like a directed path. When you're a kid, all you do is you go to school, you play sports, maybe you have hobbies, you hang out with your friends. That's kind of your day. Those are your days, and they're fairly regimented. So you mix that with the idea of being a kid and not, you know, really thinking about some of the greater ideas in this world. And you think you got it all figured out. Now I realize why I thought I had it figured out, because I wasn't thinking about anything else. I thought this was life. You go, you do something, and that's what the fuck it is. And it can be that. But for a lot of us, we like to think. And for me, it hit me once I finished graduating. And the older I get, the more it, like, kind of is in the back of my mind, like, what are we even doing this stuff for, you know? But not to the point where I just won't do anything, because that now you're just being a detriment to yourself. But, yeah, I don't know if anybody else feels the same, but as I got older and as I'm getting older, It's like, this is really weird, right? We're on a fucking big rock in the sky, a big, huge stone in the sky. We all have these specific jobs that we've picked depending on either our status, our skills, our level of opportunity that was given to us. All these constructs that have already been created by humans, by society. It's weirder than we think. And I don't know if people think about this, but there's just strength. Like, think about it. I'm in this room with a machine that's pointing at me, that's making a picture on here, and in front of me I have this weird, flat, smooth, screened thing with keys, and you know what I'm saying? Like, things are weirder than they think, or weirder than we think. This is a school of thought from Jean-Paul Sartre. Now, I don't pretend to be some philosophical person. I'm a moron. You know what I'm saying? I'm an idiot. But I understand, I watched a 15-minute existentialism Jean-Paul Sartre video, so I think I'm an expert, okay? If you have anything that has to do with philosophy, you give me a motherfucking call, and I gotcha. I'm basically Socrates, Aristotle, you know what I'm saying? I'm basically all these guys. Nietzsche, you wrap them all up, that's me. So I think I got this covered. Okay? All right. But yeah, that's like a school of thought from Jean-Paul Sartre. He's got a lazy eye. He's looking over there all the time. But smart motherfucker. Interesting guy, because this is his idea. Like, a lot of this shit is weirder than we think. But then you got to think, what can you consider to be normal? Right? If he's saying all these things that we think are normal is strange, what can be considered normal? Just an interesting thought. I ended up going into a very deep philosophical thought process there. But we're reeling it back in to talk about school and your plans afterwards. And what are you going to do with all that money you've saved up? Or all the money you haven't saved up? What about all the money that you're going to give to the school? Don't forget about that now. Don't forget about the most important part. Student loans can never be exonerated. Never. All your other loans can be, they can almost be forgotten, right? Credit cards, you can't pay them. Sorry, credit company. My score is going to go to shit, but you guys can't get the money from me because I don't have it. Same thing with house loans. You get foreclosed, the house is gone. They take as much money as they can from you, but that's it, right? Student loans, you have to pay until you are fucking dead. If you're 80 years old, right, you worked your whole life, you didn't even use your fucking degree. You've been paying, and now you're at 80, and they're like, he's, oh God, I'm toward the end of my life. Can I please, can I use some of this money to live comfortably? Fuck you. Fuck you. Right? That's basically what they're saying, because they're from the government. They're loans from the government. It's interesting how you can just, as a child, you can get a $100,000 loan to go to school. But as a young adult in their early 20s, you can't get a small business loan, right? You can if you got a good credit score, but not as easily as you can get a student loan. And for the amount of money you can get a fucking student loan. Like, that to me is just crazy. I remember my family. They were, they wanted me to go to some quote-unquote big college, a university, right? Some place where I'm going to spend, $5,000 to take the same English course that they're teaching at Rhode Island College for $900. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how people get wrapped up in that shit, especially the older generation. But I was telling you, they're like, I got accepted to University of Maine, and their tuition was like 60 G's a year. And they're like, oh, Nona will take care of it. And I'm like, I don't think Nona's going to take care of that. That's 240, that's $250,000. She's not going to pay that for me. And I don't want loans. I don't want all that goddamn money. What the fuck do I look like? Just to come out and have to keep serving tables, right? Just to come out and try and be an entrepreneur with a big fat fucking loan on my back? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. If there's anybody listening that hasn't is transitioning into going to college, please be smart. Take the gen eds at some community college. I know it's not fun. That's the thing. You trade off, right? It all depends what you're looking for. I always say that one of my regrets in my life was not going away to college, because you miss out on things. You miss out on the experience. You miss out on all that. Although last year, even though people went away, they missed out on the experience. I was reading something. A lot of people are trying to. It was like a Bloomberg article, and they were doing a poll. A lot of people are trying to sue these colleges, and to those people, you're fucking dumb. You're dumb. You're not going to get a $55,000 tuition back. Hell no. The schools are already in the red. People already don't want to go to the colleges for a multitude of reasons. For some of the things I already spoke about, right? A degree's not what it was 20, maybe even 10 years ago, 10, 20, 30 years ago. It's not what it was. It's not the end-all, be-all. You come out, you got a job. No, that's not what the fuck it is. It's a lot different now. But all these people paid all this money, tuition, living wherever they, if they moved out of state, they had to live somewhere, right? All the expenses just to sit in their rooms and have to, do their college experience from their rooms, which it's unfortunate. But these people, they're a lot of lawsuits. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Jesus Christ, can't spit it out. Blah, 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 blah. A lot of lawsuits going to these colleges, and rightfully so. I mean, what the fuck? It should have been, in my mind, right, as the consumer, as the average Joe, right? There should have been some kind of leniency, some kind of adjusted price, right? You're not going to take the whole year off. I would assume. But it shouldn't be the same price. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? People aren't going to want to move back. People will just go back home and abandon your dorms, abandon the student living. That's what I would do. I'd say, go fuck yourself. I'm going home. Take my name off the lease. Take my name off all this shit. I am going home, and the college can fucking deal with it. And if they don't want me there no more, I'll transfer. You know what I'm saying? I'll transfer to Florida State, because they don't give a fuck in Florida. Or Texas U, right? Is that even one? I have no idea. But I'll go to one of these states where they don't give a fuck, right? And we can sit all around each other and smoke dope, right? Like you're supposed to do in college. Fuck all your friends, right? That's what the fuck you're supposed to be doing when you're in college. And it's not getting to happen for these kids. And hey, I'm a big advocate for doing what you want, right? I'm a big advocate for doing what you want. And I think if you don't know what you want to do, college is a great idea. It's also a great idea if you do know what you want to do. But you have to understand, when you get out, it's not how everybody is saying. It's just not. And it's very recent for everybody. That's why I'm telling you, I wanted to get this out now. Because the high is going to be there. While you're searching for jobs, while you're doing your internships, the high is going to be there. But understand that there's some other things that, there's some extraneous circumstances. The job market it's been saturated for years. It's just been hard to find skilled jobs. It's been hard to find kind of middle-of-the-road jobs, right? It's either you have to have a high degree with a lot of experience and you get into these, specialized areas, or, you fucking scrounge like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You have a degree. I have a degree. I'm serving tables. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even the worst job I've had. I've had far worse jobs than that, working in a factory. You feel me? I got a degree and I'm working in a factory. Imagine if I had debt. Imagine if I had all the debt. Right? But then you can make the argument, oh, well, Antonio, maybe if you went to a bigger school, you would have a job. Well, maybe. Maybe. And I hope that's the case for all you guys. I hope you guys go out and find your thing. You know what I'm saying? But if it doesn't happen, you can't knock it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta adapt. You gotta go ahead and find something else and do your motherfucking thing. I'm just trying to, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm cynical. There's a fucking difference, okay? I'm trying to be funny. But right now, I'm having a heart-to-heart with you people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to expose. I had Tim Ahlers on a few weeks ago. And he said, when we were talking about how there's a lot of entrepreneurial, there's a lot of entrepreneurial nature, I guess, in the younger in my generation, because of what happened last year and the fragility of things and all that stuff. And he attested to it and said, well, kids are realizing they've been lied to when it comes to the promises that we've been given regarding our degrees and regarding education. We've been told that it's the end-all be-all. And I'm hoping as society goes forward, we understand that that's not the only way. You don't have to go to school. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that when you hear a kid right out of high school, right? 18, 17, however old he is, she is, however old they are, right? Don't want to offend anybody. Except I kind of do. It's unfortunate when they get out of high school and they say, oh, I'm going to take a year off. I want to figure things out. I'm going to take a year off. And everybody, look at that guy. A year off? He's going to take a year off? Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Did you hear Antonio's going to I didn't do this, but did you hear Antonio's going to take a year off? Did he take a year off? Oh, my God, what a fucking bum. And then he's going to go where? CCRI? My daughter's going to the University of ass fucking in Tennessee. Like, that's prestigious. You know what I'm saying? She's going to be somebody. That narrative needs to disappear. Okay? I'm starting it. That narrative needs to get the fuck out of here. Okay? Stop diminishing these kids who just a few months ago had to ask to go take a shit. You know what I'm saying? They had to raise their hand to go to the bathroom. Right? Just a few months ago, everything was absolutely regimented for them. And now, because they want to take some time to figure out what the fuck they're going to be doing for the rest of their life, now they're a scumbag, now they're a bum. It's sickening, and it's sad. It is very sad. Because it's the same thing in the school system. They write off these students who they can judge have no future. Just because they're doing bad in a fucking math class. Right? But in their mind, they think that if you can't do algebra, you can't do this or that. You can't be if this guy wants to be a writer, what the fuck does he have to do algebra for? Right? Kid's bored in the class. He don't care. Right? This girl wants to be a fashion designer. What are we doing in wood shop? What are we doing in design engineering? Right? What is this? Why am I learning this? Why am I learning about the Civil War when I want to fucking build bridges? You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know what the fuck I want to do. Why am I flooding my head with shit that I know I don't want to do? I always say that one of the best things is realizing what you don't want to do. And for a lot of kids, a lot of them don't want to go to school. And this is a fine line. I'm not saying don't go to school as a kid. Don't not go to high school. I'm saying it's a lot less black and white than counselors and teachers like to make it seem. And the state, right? The state is it's so strange how the state has an overridence on schools because they don't know shit about students. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they were a student. Maybe some of them were teachers at one point. And I'm not speaking for all of them. I'm speaking for the ones who are for state testing, right? That bullshit. I'm speaking for this inflated graduation rate, right? The fact that a graduation rate is what is attractive for a school is crazy. Because in my mind, all they got to do is make the curriculum easier. More people we pass, right? I came from North Providence High School, and it was great. It was a great experience, great people, great teachers, met some nice people, whatever. But they were like second in the state for graduations, or third. It was behind Hendricken and Barrington. And it's like, we got to get those numbers up. Come on. Let's just make things fucking easier, right? What is the state testing even for? That's what I want to know. Just to say that the school on average is good. This school is good at math, not too good at English. That school is good. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's stupid. The state testing, I haven't met a teacher that agrees with it. I haven't. I have not met one teacher that agrees with state testing. Because it's BS, if we're being honest. So, to get back to my original point, just because you're not doing good in school, just because you want to take a year off college, just because you don't want to go to college, doesn't mean you're going to be a fucking bum. It doesn't mean that you don't have other options. We all have other options. There's plenty of other options. We're freer than we think. Another thing from Jean-Paul Sartre. I'm happy we were able to get this to go full circle, but another thing by Jean-Paul Sartre, we're freer than we think. We're much freer than we think. And I feel like I've spoken about it before on here, but there's options that we have that society would look at and say, what? You're a fucking freak, right? If you don't like where you live, move, right? If you don't want to be in suburbia, if you don't want to be around people, go live in the fucking woods. Go move to another country that you've never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Go move there. There might be a market there for you. You know, if you want to make shoes, right, and in the U.S., or you want to be a cobbler, and the market for cobblers in your region is shit, and you research that for whatever reason in Thailand they need cobblers, and you want to move there, there's a fucking option for you. You know what I'm saying? These are kind of loony things, and this isn't necessarily what I was talking about, but we're freer than we think. So I'm not saying move to another country and change your name and shave your head and do all these crazy fucking things, but I'm saying that school and degrees and all that shit is great. It's great, but it's not necessarily gonna provide everything you want. We're never going to get everything we want. But when I say everything, I mean things regarding your degree, your job, your pay, maybe your recognition, your status, if you care about those fucking things. It's not the nail in the coffin, so to speak, the degree. It's just another accolade in my mind. That's how I feel about a lot of things. And the reason that I felt that way regarding school is because of the experience I had afterwards and trying to find jobs and trying to do this and trying to make my family proud, right? Quote unquote. But nonetheless, you realize there's other things you can do. There's other things you can do. You don't have to start a business like I did or start something that you want to create into a business, right? Because that's essentially what I'm doing. You don't have to do that. There's other jobs. There's other means to do things. So congratulations to all the college graduates of 2021. I hope you guys are optimistic but realistic in the future or about the future. And I wish you all great success, great luck, and yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Get ready to pay some debt. I can't help it, right? I can't help but be a fucking dickhead. Get ready to get some resumes thrown in the shredder. Get ready to sit down with employers who seem very, very happy to have you there, right? They seem like, oh, wow, we're, talking. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of that sound, right? Yeah, well, yeah. And you think you got something, right? You think, yes, this is it. Wait for, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those. A big thing for me was I didn't get an internship. That was probably the move, right? I didn't even look into that stuff. I had no guidance. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us don't have any guidance when it comes to college because the kids that get the guidance are the ones who quote unquote, do better in school, which then, for whatever reason, resonates with the staff and the faculty to push them and give them, the resources that they need. But when you're middle of the road like me, or, beneath, right, or bottom of the pack, you don't get as much help. In fact, you kind of get discouraged, if I'm being honest. I remember speaking to one of the counselors at, at North Providence High School. And I'm like, I applied to URI for business, and I applied here and I applied there. And he's like, you're not going to get in for business. You should have applied undecided. You would have got in, and then you could have changed your major. But you probably won't get in for business. And he was right. He was right. I was on the waiting list, but he was right. But to say that to a hopeful kid, right? To say that to somebody who is hoping to have fun in college like everybody else and hoping to have a decent college experience like everybody else, to say that to them is, it's very disheartening. And that's mild. I've heard far worse. And like I said, I wasn't a terrible student. I tried my best in school for the most part. But at the end of the day, I didn't have the academics that led to success in their minds. So don't listen to the counselors. Don't listen to them. They don't know a goddamn thing, okay? They don't know their ass from their fucking elbow. You can do whatever the fuck you want in this life. Don't listen to the college counselors. Don't listen to the, unless you have a real good relationship with one of them and you can speak on a real level with them. But if you're just one of the other students, they're just going to give you some cookie cutter shit. Oh, maybe you go to CCRI, which I advocate for. But to them, they're saying it in a way that it's like bad, right? In a negative connotation, where I think it's a smart idea. They're like, oh, maybe you go to, you see the body language, CCRI. That's what your parents say too, right? When they're disappointed in you. But nonetheless, guys, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Your degree doesn't dictate your life. If you decide that your fucking botany degree isn't what you wanted, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Go back to school, don't go back to school, get some experience somewhere else, move out of state, move out of the country, blow your brains out. I don't fucking care. Don't do that one. But nonetheless, guys, thank you all so much for listening. We're going to wrap this motherfucker up, because if not, I'll keep talking. I'm getting the gift of gab, guys. I'm getting the gab. I'm getting the gibby gabby goo. The gabby goo. No, I feel like I'm getting a little better at talking. I feel like I'm able to carry things on a little bit more. And I think I haven't gotten rid of them, but I've severely diminished my ums and uhs and oohs. It still happens, but that's that, people. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you follow me on everything. All the links are in the description: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, follow and subscribe to the show wherever you listen. If you're on audio or whatever, make sure you click follow so you can keep up with everything. God damn it. We got some. Before I say this, make sure you go to www.obsessiveaggression.com always if you're in the market for some 16-ounce boxing gloves. And we got some stuff cooking for you as far as surprises. I had an idea about something, and I'm hoping I can put some things in motion maybe in the next couple months. Might do something for the fans, you know what I'm saying? So, and we're getting closer to episode 100 or 100. That sounded terrible. Episode 100. No, episode 100. And I want to do something. I want to do something cool for it. So, big things coming for everybody. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm going to talk to you guys on Thursday with another great episode. Peace.